Okay, so let's take a walk through our new Habits of Mind curriculum. What you will see right off in the beginning is basically this slide here is a brief description of each of the dimensions of growth. So notice the bridge picture at the bottom sort of reminds us that we're going to provide feedback to learners based on where they are in this progression of 5 dimensions. So under each one of the dimensions, notice the color coding to begin with. And then under each one of them is a generic set of bullets that describes that particular dimension. And as this generic list would be able, you can apply to any one of the habits of mind. Then what you have here is a summary of the measurement topics of the entire curriculum. So similar to what you see in our content knowledge, you notice here that if you had the PDF copy of the Habits of Mind curriculum in your hands, you would have basically a table of contents with the page and slide number on the left here. And then notice that for content area and strands, we use the language of reflective learner, self-directed learner, and collaborative worker. And of course, we describe a reflective learner as understanding oneself, self-directed learner as improving oneself, and then collaborative worker as interacting with others. Then you have the list of the 12 habits of mind that we have selected. The 5 check marks showing a 5-step progression is really a descriptor that mimics the bottom bar here, where again, we're looking at our 5 dimensions of growth. So let's take a look just as an example. Here, the one we're going to look at is the one under reflective learner, understanding oneself, and the measurement topic is understanding one's learning style. So what you will see are 3 summary slides. This is the first summary slide, and what this does is it's a description of each dimension with important terms specific to that habit of mind at the bottom. So now this kind of customizes it to that particular habit of mind. So we consider this the first summary slide. The second summary slide it includes the evidence that one might see when we are behaving at a particular dimension level. So teachers indicated they wanted a summary slide that just showed evidence of when a learner is at a particular dimension. So notice that we also included those same terms that needed to be taught and understood for that particular habit of mind. Also notice that the way you can tell the difference between these summary slides really is at the title. So in this case, we start our tagline, evidence the learner is able to, and then we describe the evidence down in under each one of the dimensions. And then the final summary slide lists the instructional strategies that a teacher might use to move learners through the 5 dimensions. And again, it is considered to be that third summary slide. Now, the reason why we call it a summary slide is that now what you'll see are 5 separate slides that are very specific to each one of the dimensions. So in this case, notice that the far right, where you have an evidence column, that was pulled and put in the summary slide. And the instructional strategy is the same thing. Notice that the template stays the same throughout each of the 5 dimension slides, and notice that on the left-hand margin, you can tell by description and by color which dimension this portrays. You have the title of the habit of mind with its measurement topic and strand listed at the top. And here you see some of the same information listed on those summary slides, but now they're presented in their own dimension slide. Every once in a while, when our curriculum developers wanted to provide some additional instructional advice, they included instructional notes at the bottom of the dimension slides, as you can see from this one here. Also notice that since the expanding capacities dimension includes teaching learners about the strategies we can use to get better at the habit, we included a list of those sample strategies on this dimension slide. So we hope that this didn't get too confusing, that we have sample strategies in that second column, and then yet we still have what we're referring to as instructional strategies for the teacher. And then what we have is the third dimension, increasing alertness. And again, similar information, but specific to that dimension. The fourth dimension, developing appreciation. And then finally, the fifth dimension, building commitment. So this sequence of 8 slides continues for each one of the 12 habits of mind. So we would go, the next one here, the habit of mind, cultivating creativity and imagination. And again, you have a summary slide describing each of the dimensions and then the terms that are important at the bottom. Here you've got your evidence summary slide, your instructional strategies summary slide, and then 5 separate dimension slides for each one of the dimensions of growth.